I learned the hard way that helping your neighbors can turn into a legal nightmare. My name is Vincent Forester, and for the past 15 years, I've been running a small snow removal business just outside Boulder, Colorado. Nothing fancy, just me, my trusty plow truck, and a handful of clients who rely on me when the mountains dump 3 feet of snow overnight. I bought my property on Meadowbrook Lane back in 2011. 2 acres, a detached garage perfect for storing my equipment. The neighborhood was quiet then, mostly older folks who had lived here since the 70s. The HOA existed, sure, but nobody cared much. Old Mr. Henderson ran it from his kitchen table, collecting dues and organizing the occasional potluck. Rules about fence heights or mailbox colors, non-existent. We were practical people who understood that surviving a Colorado winter often meant bending a few rules and helping each other. Everything changed 3 years ago when Mr. Henderson passed away and Patricia Whitmore moved into the massive house at the top of the hill. Patricia was 52, recently divorced, and had money, enough to buy half the neighborhood. Within 6 months, she had herself elected HOA president by promising to elevate property values and enforce new standards. Most people didn't even vote. I was in Wyoming that week, big mistake. At first her rules were minor, lawn care, holiday decorations. Annoying but manageable. Then came vehicles. No commercial trucks in driveways overnight. That hit me hard since my plow truck lived at home. I found a small workaround, parking it behind my garage where it wasn't visible. But this winter, everything fell apart. December hit like a freight train. The first storm dropped 28 inches in 36 hours. My phone exploded. I spent 3 straight days clearing driveways, helping elderly neighbors get to medical appointments, making sure everyone could reach the main road. My truck became a familiar sight on every street, orange lights flashing, blades scraping asphalt at 5 a.m. And that's when Patricia started leaving notes on my windshield. The first one was polite enough. Mr. Forester, please be advised that commercial vehicles conducting business on HOA streets requires board approval. Please submit an application. I crumpled it up and kept working. Mrs. Chen, 3 houses down, needed to get to dialysis. The second note was less friendly. Final warning. Unauthorized commercial activity on HOA property will result in fines and legal action. I laughed bitterly. The irony wasn't lost on me. I was literally helping people survive a Colorado winter. So I went to the next HOA meeting. Patricia's living room was enormous. Vaulted ceilings. A gas fireplace big enough to roast a pig. 12 people showed up, mostly newer residents. The old-timers had given up after HOA meetings became parliamentary nightmares under Patricia. She read from a printed agenda. Unauthorized commercial vehicle operation on HOA streets. Mr. Forester, you've been observed conducting snow removal business without authorization. I spoke up, still wearing my work boots. These are public streets maintained by the county. I'm not on HOA property. I'm just driving to my clients. She smiled, not kindly. Actually, Mr. Forester, under Section 12, Paragraph 4 of the updated CC&Rs, the HOA can regulate commercial traffic that creates noise, pollution, or damage. Your truck qualifies on all 3 counts. I hadn't voted on these updates. Absentee votes count as abstentions, which default to the majority, she said. Then came the kicker. We can offer you a commercial activity permit, $500 per month plus a $2,000 deposit for potential road damage. Otherwise, $100 per violation and a lien on your property. I looked around. A few neighbors avoided eye contact. Only old Tom Webster spoke up. Vince helps people. He cleared my driveway last week for free. Patricia shrugged. Rules are rules, no exceptions. I left. Legal bills, insurance, fuel costs, it would have sunk me. The next morning, 4:30 a.m., fresh snow. My schedule was packed. I fired up the truck and headed to Mrs. Chen's driveway in the HOA. Halfway there, Patricia's Mercedes was parked sideways across the street, hazard lights blinking. She stood in the road, phone out. "You're operating a commercial vehicle in violation of HOA rules. You're being fined $100. If you continue, another $100 per occurrence." I froze. Mrs. Chen needed her dialysis ride. "She can hire another service," Patricia said, "or fill out a hardship exemption form. The board will review it in March." It was January. I had no choice. I put the truck in reverse and went home. My neighbors were trapped, but I couldn't risk bankruptcy over fines. By the end of the week, I lost 6 regular clients. Word spread. "Vince can't work in Pine Ridge anymore." Patricia's version. Heroic enforcement of HOA rules. Then came the second week of January, the storm everyone feared. 3 to 5 feet of snow, sub-zero temps, drifts up to 10 feet. I prepped my truck, ready for clients outside the HOA. By Wednesday morning, Pine Ridge was buried. County plows were overwhelmed. I worked 18 hours clearing non-HOA streets, exhausted but getting paid. Then came the phone calls. "Vince, we can't get out. Bus routes blocked. Kids can't get to school. Mrs. Chen's medication hasn't arrived." I told them I couldn't help. Patricia had banned me. The emergency dispatcher couldn't intervene. These were private roads. Tom Webster called. "Vince, this isn't about Patricia. It's about people who need help." I clenched my fists, packing the house. I hadn't caused this chaos, but these were my neighbors. I grabbed the keys. Meadowbrook Lane looked like another planet. Snow waves 6 feet high. 3 passes later, the main roads were clear. People came out, cheering and waving. Cash offers I refused. This wasn't about money. Patricia appeared behind me, honking and recording. "You're violating HOA rules. You'll be fined." "Great, send me the bill," I said. The school bus passed, Mrs. Chen got her medication. Life returned to something close to normal. And then the fines started arriving. $300 for one day, $100 per street, late fees, liens. I called a lawyer. $200 for a consultation. The law was complicated. The HOA technically had the power, and fighting it would cost thousands and months of court. I was trapped. By February, I stopped clearing HOA streets. Patricia had won. The school bus stopped coming. Parents had to drive their kids to main roads. Medical services refused calls to Pine Ridge addresses. Fire and emergency services sent warnings. Property values fell. 2 houses went on the market with no offers. Then came a late-season storm in April. Patricia, gone. Cabo, posting margaritas on social media while neighbors shoveled manually. People started asking where their snow removal fees went. $60 per household all winter, collected, but no service. And that's when the neighborhood realized. Control is easy when you have money, but it's meaningless if you abandon the people who depend on you.